If you're starting up a brand new t-shirt or apparel brand, should you print your own items or use print on demand? Let's find out. Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to the channel. If you're brand new here and you've never seen a video, my name's Kerry. I'm the founder of Shirt School, and I created this channel to bring you the best strategies, secrets, and hacks to grow your online t-shirt, apparel, or print-on-demand business. Today, we're gonna be talking about the pros and cons of printing your own t-shirts versus using print-on-demand when you're starting up a brand new t-shirt brand. This is one of the biggest conundrums, the biggest questions people have is, should I print my own stuff? Should I use print on demand? And a lot of people struggle with it when they're starting up their brand. Let's start off by talking about the benefits of doing it yourself, printing your own t-shirts. Number one, complete control of quality. Of course, if you're printing your own stuff, whether you're doing this at home, you're doing it out of your garage or an office, you have complete control over how good the quality is, right? Now, some of that does come down to your skills. And obviously, if you've been printing for a long time, your quality may get better and better, but in general, you have control. You're not leaving the control of the quality in someone else's hands. Number two, complete control of shipping. All right, so you can't control how fast the Postal Service or UPS is gonna ship your stuff, but you can control how quickly the item is packaged and dropped off at the post office to be shipped out to your customer. So if you're printing yourself, you have complete control over how quick the order is printed, packaged, and dropped off at the post office or UPS or wherever. Number three, and probably the biggest reason people would choose to print their own stuff, is the bigger margins. Now, there is a caveat to this. You do have bigger margins when you print your own stuff, but it's at the expense of your time and putting in the work. And if you were to hire somebody in-house eventually, you'd have to pay that person a salary. So there's that cost associated with printing your own stuff. But generally, a lot of people choose to print their own stuff because the margins are pretty substantial when you compare to print on demand. Now, a t-shirt like the Bell & Canvas 3001 might run you $3 to $4 to order it yourself. Then you're gonna have some printing cost on top of that. So let's say all in at $4.50 or $5 roundabout, you might pay $10, $11, $12 printed on print on demand. Now, again, that's covering the additional costs, that's covering the bag, the label, that's covering the packing slip, that's covering the labor that it costs for the person to print that. So there's some additional costs associated in that. But if you decide that your time is worth that and you want to print your own stuff, you can take advantage of those bigger margins. If you're all in at $5 and you sell a product at $20, you've got a $15 margin. If you're all in with print on demand at $13 and you're selling it at $20, you only got a $7 margin. So the margins are just bigger in general when you print your own stuff. Are you thinking about starting up a brand new print on demand business and you have no idea how to even get going or get started? Choosing a niche, building a store, coming up with designs, all those things feel like a struggle to you and you don't know which order or how to even start doing those things? If that sounds like you, I want to invite you to go check out our Jumpstart Print on Demand Launch Kit. It's $27 and it's jam-packed with everything I just talked about and so much more, and it'll help you get your print on demand business started and launched pretty quickly. You can check that out by going over to kerryegeler.com/jumpstart. Give that a try. Let's talk about the benefits of print on demand. Let's kick it off with the biggest one, and that is no time commitment. Doing print on demand doesn't require any of your time. It's all completely automated. When you're using print on demand to fulfill your orders, you don't have to do anything to get your orders printed and shipped to your customer. It's all in the hands of the print on demand company. Now, that comes at the expense of trusting them to, ship it out quickly and make sure it's good quality. But that gives you your time back to then invest into other things like marketing, right? The thing that actually gets you sales. So that's a really, really big one. Probably the biggest benefit of print on demand is it just doesn't require your time, and that's time you can put into more productive things like selling. The next benefit of print on demand is no work, right? In addition to your time, you don't actually have to do any work. There's no manual labor to doing print on demand. When you're printing yourself, it's actually kind of difficult, especially if you're screen printing. There are some skills that need to be learned there, and it's work. It's actual like manual labor, and it can be difficult. The third benefit of print on demand is no equipment needed. You don't need to buy any expensive equipment to use print on demand. When you're looking to print your own items, that can cost you anywhere from maybe $1,000 up to $10,000 or $20,000 to buy the equipment to actually get started. Now, that's not even considering the time or money or effort that you have to invest into learning how to use the equipment. But if you look at something like screen printing, which is the most common way to print t-shirts, that equipment can be very expensive, especially again, if you eventually want to do it at scale, right? If you want to print at scale, that's going to take a lot of time, a lot more manpower, and a lot better equipment, just a lot bigger equipment that can crank out t-shirts quickly. So that can be very expensive. When you're using print on demand, you don't have to worry about any of that because you literally get to take advantage of a company that already has tons of big equipment, a lot of staff, a big warehouse, the access to all the products you need. You get to take advantage of all that at a pretty reasonable price. So that's a huge benefit of print on demand is there's zero startup cost, there's no equipment needed. Let me be clear as we wrap up this video. I'm not necessarily encouraging you to go one way or the other. I think there are situations where one might benefit certain people in a different way. And in fact, some of our most successful students inside Shirt School and across our programs, they actually print their own stuff. And I think that's great. I think that's awesome. But I would say this, if you're somebody who is just starting up and you have not yet proved the concept for your brand, you just need to get your first sales under your belt. You need to prove that your store is going to work, that you're going to stick with it long term. I would highly recommend considering going with print on demand because you don't want to invest a ton of money into equipment and skills and all those things before you've even proved the concept, before you've even brought in your first 5, 10, 20 or even 50 to 100 sales, right? You want to get some sales and some revenue and profits under your belt before you make an investment like that into equipment and your time and effort and learning the skills and all those things. So print on demand gives you that opportunity to do just that. Prove the concept before you invest any money. Thanks so much for watching today. And if you like this video, please hit the like button. It's a huge help to us. Also consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the bell icon. That'll make sure you get notified when new videos release. See you soon.